Councillor Smith from Telford Wrekin.
Oh, good evening, everybody. How do I follow that? It's good to see Mark in full flow again, and I hope your cold get better soon, Mark. It's a long time since I saw you, actually. I've actually got the economic development portfolio, Telford Wrekin. I also have a housing, number of houses as well, and the homelessness within the whole of the borough is getting worse, not least in the countryside, where people are homeless and can't actually live in the villages and towns they want to. And this is one of those things. First of all, the plan is not Telford and Wrekin's total plan. It's within the core development plan, which was approved until 2016. It's approved, and all the applications are from private developers. And that's important to remember. If we turn them down willy-nilly, they do get called in or they appeal, and we lose. And you lose a lot of things if you lose the appeal. You lose certain rights of what can go on the site and how number of houses and so on, the affordable housing. And we do need affordable housing for people, if people are going to stay and live in Newport. So that's where we're at. And it is private-led, and we have to respond to that as a council. The Station Road, and is offered there. We made it, we appropriated it because councils have to make the best use of their land, and we're exhorted by the Minister of State to make the best use of our land. It's not grade 1 agricultural land, it's grade 2 and 3, that land is. And I've had it checked on that, and it was important to get it checked. It's grade 2 and 3. Half it's grade 3. So that was what the land was there for, to making the best use of it. The government has actually come out this week and said again that they expect buildings to have to go onto green open spaces. And it's not green belt we're talking about, it's green open spaces that they're talking about. In Newport, there's not enough brown land to fulfil the core local plan. There's a lot going on, but there isn't enough brownfield land to do that. David Parker said that the Audley Avenue site has been called in, the housing one, has been called in by the Secretary of State. As we understand it, as I understood it today, it's not been called in. So if David, if you know something I don't, I'd pleased to know that. But we understood it hadn't been called in yet. And then we need to be certain that people know what's going on in this town and what's going on with the council. We're not against Newport. We're not against... Right, fine enough. I know we're getting towards the pantomime season, but sorry, I'm not insulting.
Please, sorry, can I just step in for 1 moment? Can we give him a chance to make his statement, then we can move on to questions, then you'll be able to make those comments at the appropriate time, please.
Thank you. I'm sorry if you found it insulting. I wasn't being insulting. But over the past 5 years, £7.7 million has been invested in and around Newport. And there's more to become this year. 11-12, £1.83 million has gone into Newport, and more to come in 12-13. And that is an investment within Newport. So we're not against Newport, and it's not insulting. That's a statement of fact. The money has been invested over 5 years there into Newport. With the new supermarket proposed, the big new supermarket, if the big new supermarket is there, it won't be the biggest in the country by any manner of means. The biggest one is actually in Tamworth, or in Minworth in the West Midlands there. Next one is Tamworth in Staffordshire. They are Walmart. We're not proposing to have a great big Walmart. If it comes up, it's St Modwen who are making the application, and we don't actually know. Sainsbury's is mooted, but I don't actually know. It definitely is Sainsbury's. But we're looking at 400 jobs for the town, It's 400 jobs for the town, which is there, and I have reason to believe that the Shropshire radio may have got it right tonight, up to 400 jobs when I listened to it coming in. And that's money to spend in Newport if people have got jobs. Now, we're exhorted by the government to start building, to get the economy going, to get people off benefits and into work. And this is one way of doing it. Now, I know you don't like the answer, I know you don't like the plans which are there, but we do listen sometimes, and we do take account of what's said, and we are doing what we have to do. Finally, David Parker mentioned that we're taking a judicial review on Audley Avenue supermarket down there. There's a good reason for that. The planning inspector missed many things out and altered the Section 106 agreements. In fact, left out the road infrastructure as part of the 106 agreements, which means that the council and the town would have to provide the road infrastructure into that new development if we weren't careful. We've got to get that reversed, otherwise it's going to cost the ratepayers, council taxpayers of Telford and Wrekin £1 million plus to do things there, to get their own infrastructure for what is a private venture. Now, I do not think that is right, and I make no bones about that. I do believe, as a socialist, that the developer should pay for these, not the people. But I'm prepared to answer questions, and I'll thank you all for listening to me tonight. It's a difficult job we've got, but I do thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Charles. I'll now pass you on to Michael Barker, the Head of Planning from Telford and Wrekin.
Thank you. There's nothing really that I'd want to say at the outset here. I think the best thing that I can do is, as questions come along which are more appropriate for an officer of the council, I'll take them at that point, and obviously support my cabinet member in questions that are directed towards him.
Thank you, Michael. We'll now